Hi, it's Nick from the Run Testers, and this is our first run review of the New Balance Fresh Foam X 1080 V12. So the 1080 V12 is kind of New Balance's big premium everyday trainer. It sits somewhere in between kind of the 880 and the Fresh Foam More in terms of kind of softness, with the 880 being a bit firmer and the More being the softer option in the range. It's a big high stack shoe with lots of cushioning that provides kind of a durable, comfortable option for cranking out your mileage. The shoe costs £145 in the UK, $160 in the US. It has an 8mm drop from heel to toe, and it is fairly heavy. It's 300 grams in my UK 9 or 10.6 ounces. Actually a bit heavier than the previous version in the same size for me, but I think that partly might be to a change in fit. This one seems just a bit bigger all round rather than them adding weight in other ways. The upper is a hypo knit upper, which has got a good amount of kind of stretch around the kind of forefoot, but decent amount of hold around the kind of midfoot and heel. Speaking of the heel, it's been drastically changed on this new version. That's probably the biggest change to the shoe from the V11. The Ultra heel is gone, replaced with kind of a more traditional kind of padded heel with a heel counter at the bottom and these kind of reinforced sections at the side here. The tongue is not massively padded, but you know, there's a good amount of padding there. It is designed to be comfortable, but they haven't gone all out on kind of plush padding like you might see on some shoes like the Brooks Glycerin line. The midsole is made from New Balance's Fresh Foam X material. Apparently this has been retuned slightly, but I'm not expecting a dramatic change underfoot. The main aim here is really to protect the legs, provide a good balance of kind of softness and responsiveness. It's not like an all-out squishy shoe, and it's not going to be lightning quick because it is fairly bulky, but it's trying to sit somewhere in the middle of that and be reasonably versatile, but mainly aimed for those kind of base miles. You've got a mild heel bevel and a bit of a rocker profile going on to kind of smooth your transition from heel to toe on the run and provide a little bit of kind of spring, get your toe off. And then the outsole, you've got kind of targeted rubber, bits very similar to the previous version of the shoe. The kind of blue sections at the front and back are kind of slightly harder rubber to obviously for key impact and kind of use zones. Then you've got this kind of softer rubber, covering most of the forefoot and a little bit of exposed foam. So fit is a bit odd on the 1080 V12. On the previous version, and indeed the version before that, I was very happy true to size, but now this fit's quite long, and I think I could go half size down in it and have a more comfortable fit. Like, it wasn't really a problem on the run today, but yeah, it is slightly extended at the front there compared to previous versions, which does seem to have added some weight.
I have slightly narrow feet, and I did find these like slightly wide on me, which no surprise. So if you're a regular footed person, then you'll be all right with these. They weren't anything that tightening up couldn't handle, but I did feel like they did feel quite wide in the sole, if that makes sense. Like, my feet weren't rattling around with them in terms of that wideness, but in terms of my foot landing, they did feel quite wide. I've been out for a couple of runs in these now. This is only the second time that I've ever run in New Balance. So the New Balance Hero trail shoes, which are one of my favourite shoes to run in, I love them. So I was really excited about these, and they got a bit of a similar look about them, and the sole there looks pretty similar. So I was really excited, but I was expecting it to feel like a road equivalent of the Hero, and it didn't. So while it's a good shoe, it's not as dreamy as I was hoping it would be. Can we take a moment of appreciation for this colour? I love it. The women's is called Vibrant Apricot. I like it, and as much as I do moan about women's shoes in pink, I think this little bit of hot pink there is nice touch. So I love it. I love the colour of the shoes. Love the design. I think it looks like a nice pair. It's very comfy. The upper is very comfy. The women's comes in this shoe, but also a black. But why would you choose black when you can have Vibrant Apricot, eh? Very comfy. The upper is nice and breathable, a little bit stretchy there, You can see that. A little bit stretchy for your foot moving about, but still quite supportive. One thing I don't really get is the placement. Now I do love the little extra hole on a pair of shoes. I will always lace up because I like to be tight in there. But the placement of this one, it feels a bit odd to me, because basically it means the lace is coming back in exactly the same place as the hole before. So I think they need to be a little bit offset. So that was a bit weird, but enough lace there to do the top one up and a little bit of a double knot.
So about to head out and do my first run in the 1080 V12. It's a gorgeous sunny day. I'm just going out for an easy 10k, and this should be basically perfect for the shoe. Kind of think it's great for eating up base miles on lovely days like this. Not expecting too dramatic a difference to the previous version. It seems like the shoe's gonna be pretty similar underfoot, just that kind of tweaked upper in terms of getting rid of the ultra heel. But yeah, looking forward to going for a nice easy jog in the sun. So I've run about 5.6k so far, mix of kind of very light forest trails and the road, and just going to finish off just on the road now. It's shoes performing as expected, really. It's not a squishy soft ride, but it's comfortable. It's got a reasonable roll through to it, but nothing too dramatic. You don't get a lot of ground feel, but kind of expect that with the Fresh Foam X cushioning here. So yeah, it's just solid, comfy, easy option so far. So just finished up the run. Yeah, like I say, very enjoyable day today. 45 minutes out on some light trails and a bit of road, and this shoe, yeah, was pretty much exactly what I'd expect from it. It was comfortable, not overly squishy. I think there's a bit of firmness there that is useful, but I think I think it will get slightly softer as time goes on. But yeah, it's never going to be a very soft shoe like some of the other options out there. Comfortable, doesn't feel especially nimble or quick, but yeah, cruising along, felt good in it today. Yeah, not a lot to report really. Some very, very slight wear maybe on the front of the kind of toe section here that I'm going to keep an eye on future runs. But yeah, overall it was more or less what I expected, and the fact that it did seem a bit long compared to the previous version didn't really negatively affect the run at all.
They were a comfortable shoe. They weren't the squishy dreaminess that I was hoping for, but they're a good cushion shoe. You could do a lot of easy miles in this, and they're quite versatile in regular easy day shoes, medium mileage, I think. Throw them on, go for a run. They didn't set my world alight with excitement, but they're a good shoe, and they'll probably go in the pile, if nothing else, because of how they look. Look at that.
So early verdict on the V12 is that for me it's much like the V11. I didn't really have a problem with the heel design on the V11. If you did, this is obviously great news. If you didn't, I think this will still suit you just fine, this new heel construction. It's pretty traditional and worked perfectly well for me today on the run. Nothing's dramatically changed underfoot as far as I can tell. It's comfortable, good for cruising around in, not particularly light and nimble and fast, but there should be a little bit of versatility there. I will try it out some kind of faster running going forward. Yeah, it's a good solid shoe, but it sits in the category where there's just so many shoes like this, it's fair to say. Like, every brand has this kind of big cushioned premium daily trainer that they're looking for people to spend a fairly big amount of money on, and at 145 then you're going up against lots of stuff. You know, there's Brooks Glycerin, Saucony Triumph, Nike's Infinity Run. All of them will do a similarly good job in different ways. The Glycerin's maybe a bit comfier, the Infinity is that smooth rockered profile. Another shoe like it is the Asics Gel Nimbus. Maybe had a little bit more snap to it than this after one run, but we'll kind of comment on that more. And then you've got the squishier options like the Nova Blast and the Nike Invincible. Basically, there's lots going on around here, and I always think if you're looking in this category, then there are some great options near £100, like the Puma Velocity Nitro 2, which is softer, a bit lighter, a bit comfier, and probably actually a bit quicker as well. The Reebok Floatride Energy 4 is only £75, and that does a really good job of your daily training as well, and it's lighter than this shoe as well. So I think this shoe is going to be much the same as its predecessor, a solid workhorse option. We'll try it out some fast stuff and do more training in it to confirm that. But yeah, the problem might be really the competition that's going around when you know, and in fact also the competition from its predecessor. If you didn't mind the heel, you can probably get a good deal on that now, and the ride feels very similar to me. So guys, that's our first run review of the 1080 V12. We'll log a load more miles and get back to you with our full multi-test review down the line. Please like, subscribe, ring the little bell. It does help the channel out a lot when you like the videos, I believe. Yeah, and we'll see you next time.